hotel, motel, holiday. Well, y'all know the rest. What's going on, folks? It's Felix from Bars and Cigars ATL, and today we got a very good and delicious review for you. We're talking about a brand that has been on the scene for a little bit, but it's not getting the notoriety to me that I think it should. Today we're talking about LASSO MOTEL, and LASSO MOTEL is a brand, again, that has been around in a while. It's spreading out to more regions, but people are definitely sleeping on the one that we're going to review today, but also on the brand itself and the many options that they already have in the market. Today specifically, we're talking about the LASSO MOTEL cigarette blend. And as you probably could get it, it's really similar to the cigar blends that we've often talked about here on the channel, but you see pretty much everywhere and every brand has released. This is their version. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the brand. So, first about LASSO MOTEL. It's actually a brand out of Texas, and they've produced other spirits as well, but they're really kicking in the door when it comes to this whiskey scene here. For the brand, they really want to pay homage or ode to the 1970s rocker road trip era. So, the LASSO is really a call out to a world famous Texas hotel called the Belmont Hotel. But that hotel is legendary for housing some of the great rockers that would just, again, the band would hop in the van and go city to city touring, and just really that era of rebellion, roguishness, of trashing hotel rooms. That's really what this brand is all about. So for their cigarette blend, of course, back then rockers probably preferred cigarettes over cigars, but this is their version. And this here, if I am correct, is roughly a 5 to 7 year whiskey. But like a lot of cigar blends, it is finished in sherry, Armagnac, and cognac. So again, very familiar with the cigar finish here. Of course, they vary in what they actually finish in, but this one here is a great profile for cigars, again, with the sherry, the Armagnac, and the cognac, so you can't go wrong. So let's break it open. We're going to talk about the color, we're going to talk about the aroma, and then we'll take it to the palate and see how it tastes and give you overall thoughts on this one here. All right. Good fresh pop. I'm liking the topper. So it is a bright red lacquer topper that has some pretty good weight on it. Has the LASSO MOTEL name on there. This is nice. I'm just gonna set this right here as we get into it. But let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and pour it up. Start to look at the color, the aroma, and then the taste, as I mentioned. All right, nice pour. Right before, while I'm swirling it, I just want to give you a little bit more detail about the juice that's in the bottle. So this is, if I'm correct, 70% corn, 21% rye, and the rest is malted barley. So that may help you guys kind of understand or figure out what type of whiskey this is here. But really interested in the finishes and how prevalent the flavor, the aroma comes through. So I'm just swirling it so it can oxygenate, everything can breathe, being that it's a fresh pop. But as I'm swirling it, just want to take a look. Not too viscous, but it looks like it has just a touch of oiliness, a couple of legs here and there, but again, only at 100 proof. Typically, the higher proof whiskeys carry a little bit more oil, a little bit more sugars, so the legs are more prevalent. But it does look like it will have a good texture to it. All right, let's see what it is on the nose. So, again, only 100 proof. You're not going to get a lot of ethanol, which is very nice. It is. The aromas are sweet, early coming out, not burning the nose, but the notes on that aroma. That is nice. I'm getting a little bit of honey, vanilla, kind of like a spice, a spicy and woodiness together. So maybe touch of pepper, nutmeg, and maybe like a nuttiness. So maybe it's not woodiness, but nuttiness in there. But the vanilla, the honey is first. There's a juiciness in there too. I don't want to say peach, but maybe in that family of nice peachiness. It's subtle. It's behind the vanilla and the honey, the nuttiness, the spice. But it is a nice juiciness that I really like it that's coming out on there. So the nose is great, really delicious. Let's see how it is on the palate. Okay, so first thing I noticed was, again, I mentioned the proof. It's not heavy, but it does have a very good mouthfeel. Actually has more than what I thought it was going to. When we talked about the legs, I thought, just going to be approachable. It has more, and it's increasing as it sits on my tongue. But at first I was thinking, okay, and then it kept kind of, the mouthfeel kind of started to increase more and more. So I do like that. Also in that first sip, it started off kind of very subtle. Then it peaked with some flavors that we're going to talk about. And then it kind of just slowly dies off. So that was really a nice experience for a first sipper. I'm going to go again, take another sip so we can experience that again and see how it changes. All right. So flavor-wise, we talked about the mouthfeel, but flavor-wise, again, that subtleness is going to be really, really light. Like very light oak and nuttiness. And then that nuttiness pops almost to like a peanut noticeable flavor. A peanut, maybe a little bit of tannin. The Armagnac is going to bring like an apricot note to it instead of peach. So it's a little bit more tart than peach. It's a sweet peach would be. You still get some spice. So that helps. Again, the rye is definitely showing itself even at 21%. I was hoping to get a little bit more sherry, but right now the flavors, again, it's very melancholy in its approach in the first sip. And then it's peanut, some spice, apricot, and then it just kind of gradually kind of comes back down to the bourbon space of just vanilla and maybe some of that nutmeg that I talked about before. There's that spice. Yep. And let's see how long that lasts. I want to finish with the mouthfeel. I'll give it a nice medium, like it's fading now. Now. So I still get it. The spice is still on my tongue. Really nice finish. Medium plus, maybe. Not too heavy, not too long, but medium plus. And you definitely get I would say the cognac and the Armagnac on that finish as well. So those are the two dominant finishes that I'm picking up. Again, I'm not getting a lot of sherry. A lot of my cigar blends that have sherry also have port. So again, I talked about how that can make a whiskey heavy, especially as a cigar smoker. But it pairs so great because you have these kind of prune, raisiny, red wine flavors that makes the wine kind of heavy. This one, it does a good balancing act, right? Of giving you bright, woody, nutty, vanilla, flavors, but still having a nice spice and a nice finish. So again, we'll be interested in see how this stands up, but just off the top of my head, this probably would smoke well with, of course, a Dominican. That would be nice. Yeah, I would like to try that with a Dominican. Or a Connecticut cigar, a Connecticut shade cigar, just to see how that plays well with those there. But let's go in for one more sip and finish up. Yeah. Well, I'm getting the same thing. Again, very nice, light introduction to the whiskey. Hello, shakes your hand. and then as soon as you turn around, it slaps you with it slaps your ass with just a nice kick of spice, that oakiness, the wood, the nutmeg. Again, not a lot of necessarily dark influence from the sherry, but it's a nice kind of velvety, and I think that may be helping the finish. There's a velvety touch that lingers as it kind of finishes out. So really good. Definitely would like to add this to my cigar battle royale that we do every year. It's about time for one. There's a couple of other cigar blends that I want to get my hands on before I get into that. But before we transition, let's wrap this up, and then I want to talk about these other Lassos that I have right here. So again, just came to Georgia, I think at the end of last year, at a tasting. I was introduced to this one and a few others with McFarland Liquors, wine and liquors. Again, price point on this one, I believe, is around, I want to say around 70, 80. McFarland, correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually have started to see it at other stores. They were some of the first to get this one. So really good grab by them. Good price point. Again, I think it's around 5 to 7, 8 years finish, somewhere in that ballpark. But again, you got the finishes of Armagnac, Cognac, and Sherry coming in at 100 proof. This is a good whiskey, I think, for the everyday whiskey drinker, but also people who may be hesitant around finished whiskeys. This one, I think they still would love. So again, it's a nice, subtle approach to a finished whiskeys that is noticeable but not overpowering. So you're still going to get those traditional whiskey notes, but again, the way they did it, I don't know how long they finished it in those casks, but it elevates a typical 5-year, 6, 7-year whiskey. It makes it more elegant and also more versatile. So yeah, definitely more versatile. Again, I'm gonna try to get a cigar with this one, just see how it smokes with a cigar, make sure that it's not overpowering, but that it complements some of those, and then I'll confirm with you guys whether or not it goes well with Ecuadorian, Dominican, Connecticut, wherever I smoke with it, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, so that is a wrap for the Lasso Motel Darts cigarette blend. And then real quick, I want to talk about some other ones. The brand actually has, I believe, over 12 or 15 offerings. So the ones that's in Georgia is the rye. This is a 10-year-old MGP rye. Stores have started to do store picks of these, so you can actually get a single barrel of this. But this is, I think, their general offering. This, again, 10-year MGP. Price point, again, is somewhere around the 70, 80 mark. Cannot beat that. This is the rum cask. This is finished in bourbon cork, 15-year rum cask. Bourbon cork 15 years, a Haitian rum that is chef's kiss, amazing. And as you can see, it's amazing with this whiskey. So this is definitely one of my favorites. But they also have a 4-year, a 8-year, a wheated, a Ambarana finished, a port finish, a sherry finish, a Tokai finish. I'm telling you, they got a lot. So definitely look out for Lasso Motel whiskey in your area. Georgia, we have these now, so definitely get out and get them. Oh, and that 18-year light whiskey. So yeah, so a lot of offerings even here locally. This one is not local. I got this one from Florida, but it is delicious. First Ave, thank you for this one. But yeah, guys, get Lasso and find a vacancy on your bar to put a bottle. All right, guys, this has been Felix signing off. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you've tried Lasso Motel and which one you've actually tried. And then we can talk more about that. All right, guys, share this with your buddies so they'll know a new brand to look out for. All right, light up your life. Peace.